All right, here we go. Welcome back to another episode of Subpar. And as always, it's brought to you by Fanatics. The year may be winding down, but the action is only picking up. And the Fanatics Sportsbook app is loaded with ways to boost your holiday spirit. You already know the deal. Every bet gets you up to 10% FanCash back, win or lose. So even on a tough weekend, you're still stacking FanCash you can put toward holiday shopping over at Fanatics.com. And from now through the end of the year, don't forget to check out our weekly picks featured right inside the Fanatics Sportsbook app. If you haven't made the switch yet, now's the time. Fanatics Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Connecticut? Call 888-789-7777. Massachusetts? Call 800-327-5050. New York? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Maryland? Visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Not available in all states. Terms apply. See Fanatics Sportsbook app. All right, Sleaze, let's get into it. A lot of golf action, including the biggest tournament in all the world, the Grass League Championship, with you and I both played in. I owe you $100, and I like to pay. Fast
Good man.
pay,
I actually forgot about that. Respect to you.
I challenged you
fast
and
pay,
Kittleson
fast friends.
to a duel
Right here
for
in my
100.
mitt, right here in my greasy mitt.
No, it's going right there.
Here in my
Just sort of
greasy.
sit there and you
I'll
can
get
just
it
look
there.
at it.
I'll let it collect interest.
And myself and Harrington, we lost by 2.
Debut at the league.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think?
I really like the flyover.
Yeah, flight 432 out of Tulsa
The
coming through
Southwest
during the
Airline
national
and
anthem.
Frontier Airline flyover was beautiful. No, in all seriousness, it was phenomenal. I had such a blast being out there. You know, I don't know what kind of like TV audience it draws, but just being out there and experiencing it, like it is a blast, man. Like the par threes are super fun, under the lights, music going, having some cocktails, just hanging out, man. And then to have Midland, Big X the Plug doing concerts, like got to give a lot of love to the Hosseltons, everyone at Grass Clippings and in the Grass League. They put on a hell of a show, man. It was so much fun. I got the opportunity to play with Gabby and Ryan Ruffles the first day, who ended up going on to win the whole championship, shooting 21 under. You played with them the second day, so obviously we brought them luck.
I watched it. I witnessed it. I witnessed the greatest putting round in the history of golf by Gabby. Congratulations to her. I've never seen anything quite like it. Ryan hit it great all day. Gabby made everything. We tried to close the gap. I thought we were going to get in there on 15 and square it up with them. Made a long putt on that one. I was like, cool. They have about the same distance. They missed. We're tied with 3 to go. Ryan makes it right on top. They stay 1 up, and then we missed a few. Made a couple pars, birdied the last, ended up losing by 2. But, dude, what they did, it was impressive. And, by the way, they could have won by more. Ryan hooped it straight, I think, gap wedge or something on 17. Lands in the bottom of the hole, center of the hole, bounces back out to like 20 feet. They missed. They actually made par there. And we got up there and looked at the hole, and there was zero like trace that anything had happened. I'd never seen a ball land in the hole like that, not even have the cup affected at all.
Reminded me of Charles Howe at Torrey Pines on 18 back in the day. Had to hoop it to force a playoff with Tiger, I believe, in it. Flew in the cup, bounced out, and then spun back in the water. I'm like,
yeah,
ugh.
Tough break.
That's a tough one. At least Gabby and Ryan went on to win. But, man, it was great, man. We had a blast. Harrington and I struggled a little bit the first day. Didn't really putt great all week long.
How was the camaraderie?
It was great. We had a blast. He was out there having a couple drinks. I was. But, yeah, it was great. We got off to a nice start. We shot 7 under the first day. Birdied the last 4 to shoot 7 under the first day.
You can get going on it's easy to run into just a par stretch, which you have to avoid if you're going to win the thing, because it takes 20, 21 under now to win it in 36 holes. Like, that's not easy to do. If you run into a 4-par stretch, you're like, dude, we don't got much room to make more pars.
Yeah, we were 2 through 7, like I said, and then ended up shooting 7 the first day, and then came out nice the second day, 4 under through 6. I was like, okay, we can get it going. We were 5 back, but I was like, if we get to 20, I think you got a chance. And so when we got off to that start, I liked it. Then we hit it close on 8, missed it, close on 9, missed it. And I was like, oh, well, that's all she wrote. But then we rattle off 5 in a row. Threw in another one coming in, ended up shooting 10 for the day. Missed good looks on 17 and 18, but it was awesome, man. I would say I took it as a competition. I know it's different than playing professional
you
golf.
Want to play good.
You want to win. You want to play. There's a lot of people out there. So it was cool to get out there and just be in the heat a little bit.
Dude, it's the perfect like mix of like fun golf. Like you're saying, there's parties, there's music, you're drinking, you got to find your cruising altitude, which is an art. And I think the more of these you play, the more you figure out where you're at. But like, you also want to win and you want to play good. And there's enough good players now. I mean, that like you and Harrington being added to a team. There's a bunch of former Korn Ferry Tour players. We played with current pros, you know, like the first day. It's good golf. So like you're out there to get your competitive juices going, but it's also like, it's not the end of the world. You know what I mean? You're not playing for your life or your livelihood, but you want to go play good. That's why it's fun, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And yeah, props to the Hosseltons, the entire Grass Clippings organization. Like they've made it into a big, I mean, Midland, that was sweet.
Yeah.
That's a real act. Big X coming in the house. Did you get to meet him?
That's a huge act.
Did you meet your boy from Dallas?
I did not get a chance to meet him.
He came in fully clothed, quickly. Shirt came up. By the way, it was freezing at night.
I actually didn't think it was near as cold as it was going to be. Like I was rather comfortable.
Actually, the second day was tricky because we tee off when it's daytime, but you finish under the lights, and I had the long johns on. It was a little warm leading into that, but dude, fun event. Shout out to the Ruffles. They got it done on TV too.
Yeah.
How about the deal?
Golf Channel. Showing some love to it.
Have you seen any of it?
I have not. I'm interested to see it. I'm interested to see like what kind of numbers it does. But hey, at the end of the day, I don't care. Like it was a blast, man. And I would do it again in a second. I love that they're only going to have like 3 or 4 a year because that's cool. It spreads it out a little bit. But if you're in Scottsdale, you get a chance to go out. Tickets are not crazy. It's worth it. You get to see some good golf and just a lot of fun.
This is a nice natural re-entry for you into the amateur golf world. Yeah. There's pros out there and there's money, but this is a nice kind of dip your toe in the water.
My favorite part is?
What's that?
That neither of us lost to Ben Herman.
Yeah. We had
there was a lot of chirping after day one, Ben.
We had a first day, second day total bet with them. They're leading. I was like, of course they're leading. Then we played good the second day, beat them on the total, and there's a discrepancy. They thought it was front 9, back 9. I said 100, 200 was the bet, right? They took that to mean supposedly front 9, back 9 total of only the first day. Like, you owe me $400. I was like, what gorilla math are you doing, dude? Why would I bet you 3 ways on one day, a 9-hole par 3? Like, this is a tournament long bet.
Sorry, Ben, you're wrong.
Yep.
But I love you.
I'll let you owe me though,
and I like being a member at Silver.
Right, you're a very good man.
Yeah, but no, it was what a week, man. A lot of fun, and also congratulations, Hideki Matsuyama winning the Hero World Challenge for the second time, beating Alex Norn in a playoff. You know, just 20 guys down there. But listen, you show up, you want to win. Hideki got it done. A little final round 64. Alex Norn clutching up, make 20-footer on the 72nd hole to force a playoff. And then Hideki birdies the first playoff hole to win. Scotty Scheffler continue his just ridiculous, consistent golf.
Disappointing week. Is it time to, has he peaked?
Yeah.
Is he on the downtick?
That's 16 straight top 8s for those keeping score at home. I know there was only 20 guys in the field, but hey, he was in the final pairing. He's in contention every single time he tees it up. Didn't play great on Sunday, but still another really solid week. And with that
he
being
looked
said,
pissed after he lost too.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, he doesn't care. Like, dude, he just lost a 18-man event and he was not thrilled with it.
That's him. He is very, very competitive. But speaking of golf, this might be the first time in the history of our podcast that we both picked 2 winning golf bets.
We were hot this week. College and if you followed us, which I don't blame you if you don't, there's been some losers in there. That was a nice little payout this week. We did not hit a few. We had a plus. Oh, that was football though. Like we didn't have the 600 a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we didn't have the NFL money line this week. We didn't hit it, but both of our college picks won. We had Georgia rolling over Alabama, Indiana.
How about that?
Ohio State beat Ohio State. Coach Signetti, you're a legend. And then both golf bets hit. I had Alex Norn to top 10, and you had JJ Spawn to top 5.
The top 5,
and he finished third. And Norn lost in the playoff.
Yeah, it was looking good the whole time. I was like, JJ, just bring it home. I've had some bad beats this weekend. Denver Broncos, dude. If we have to get into that, you were actually on them too. Literally. Portnoy said it great. Like, they need to be investigated.
Apparently,
what was going on? Spiking the ball down 10 with 16 seconds left. The delay of game call was absolute bullshit. Then you get one snap left and you're down 10. You're not going to take a shot at the end zone. You're just going to kick a meaningless field goal.
Very interesting. That one hurt. Suspect.
Oh, by the way, that affected the over too.
Yeah,
the game went.
I don't know if
you were Broncos under, that's the worst ever.
I've watched so many games where they're obviously trying to rush to get up and try to spike the ball and all this, and there's like the guy lays on him a little longer.
Yeah, when they're trying to like tie the game or win.
Never throw a penalty flag for that.
On a 2-possession game with they don't even have enough time to line up, and there's no chance in the world they could run up to the line of scrimmage, get set, snap the ball, spike it, and have another play. It was a wrap, and they call that. And why are you even still trying?
Why are you kicking it?
Why don't you hand it off up the middle, let the clock run out like everybody else does, get out of there without any more dumb injuries, and call it a day?
Whoever the ref was that threw the flag, the other one's got to be just looking at him and be like, really, dude?
Buddy,
we can't just get out of here?
We're going to catch some shit for this one, by the way. I don't know if you know the lines. If you were Broncos under, that's one of the tougher ones around. Condolences. I was only half of that. You were only half of that.
Yeah.
But still, suspect at best.
I didn't like it. Mm-hmm. Well, also, since we've been together, I have a new job.
Yes, we didn't. That was not public information.
Yeah,
last time we were on here.
What, last Wednesday, I believe.
Yeah, congratulations. Up in the booth, up in the AC. You got to wear a tie?
A few times a year, apparently. I'm trying to figure this out.
Whichever times they're going to get your face on TV, you got to wear the tie?
Yeah, so they called me the other day. We needed sport coat size, dress shirt size. All this is like, well, how many times we plan on wearing this thing? Because like Frank and I, we're just in the back. I mean, Jim and Trevor, they're up front on the camera.
Forward facing.
And they're like, that's up to Sellers. I'm like, Sellers, kind of like comfort. Golf shirt, slacks. Let's keep it easy.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you,
man.
man.
New gig, up in the booth.
Yeah, known about it for a little bit.
In for a it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Keeping it in-house at CBS.
Hope to make you proud. It's going to be a lot of fun, though. But, I mean, you know everybody involved. I mean, the Super Tower consists of Nance, Trevor, Frank, and I. It's pretty damn good time.
It's going to be a good time during commercial breaks.
Yes.
In there.
Got Dottie and Mark down on the ground. But I'll miss being down on the ground. There's no doubt about it. I love being out there with the dudes, talking to them. Everyone in the gallery, just always talking, going up and down every hole, just out there in the atmosphere. But listen, this is a huge opportunity for me. It's a much bigger job, much bigger role, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you love being on the ground, so I was like, I don't even know if he wants to do that job or not because he likes it down there. But now by the way, come August. Yeah, come Memphis, and you'll be like, I really miss being on the ground.
Hey, Memphis, St. Louis, Atlanta, the 3 playoff events this year, and we have them all.
I can tell you what, these flights home just got a lot more pleasant, not only for you, but for the person sitting next to you. Because they've been a stinking motherfucker in some of those.
It has not been fun, man. Those rushing to the airport, we're coming off a 100-degree day on the golf course and just dripping in sweat, and then you're sitting there for 4 hours flying back to the West Coast. God damn it.
I remember my Monday qualifying days where it was like on the 13th hole, it was pretty clear I wasn't going to be getting through. And I was like, what do we got here that I can get to? And just sprinting there and just walking through security, like, I pity. Whoever gets next to me, I apologize. Yeah. Like, this is a problem. I've been wearing pants all day. It's 200 degrees. So that's nice. Nice perk of the job.
Thank you, man.
But congratulations, dude. That's awesome.
23 events next year. It's going to be a hell of a year. So
a lot of action.
I can't wait to get to it. Some more good news, Sleaze. We're excited about a new partnership we have with the USGA and Sentry Insurance around the GHIN app, one of our absolute favorites. The GHIN app is rolling out something really cool. GHIN Rewind, your personal highlight reel of the year you spent chasing better. It gives you a full look back at your 2025 season, all in one place. Your rewind breaks down how your handicap index moved throughout the year, your best rounds, and the ones that humbled you. The toughest and easiest courses you played, how many rounds you posted, when you played the most, and where you played the most.
GHIN Rewind drops Tuesday, December 16th in the USGA GHIN app presented by Sentry Insurance. Just update your app and relive every moment that made your year. And of course, share it, compare it, celebrate it, post your rewind on social, and tag at USGA for a chance to be featured. If you haven't downloaded the GHIN app yet, now is the time. Start posting stores, get your index, and unlock insights made just for you heading into 2026. And how about this? Before next week's show, we're going to have a little fun with the listeners. Head to Subpar's Instagram or YouTube and guess each of our lowest rounds of 2025. If you get it right, you could win a Birdie Juice hat. Get your guesses in by midnight Eastern on December 15th. Next week, we will reveal the correct answers along with some of our favorite stats from our own GHIN Rewinds. Gonna have to go backlog a few of these bad boys.
Sleaze doesn't post.
I'm not a big entering of score guy, but I will become one now, of course, now that there's GHIN Rewind. Absolutely. But I'm gonna need to rewind back to a long time ago to get some of those in.
I need some of my buddies rewind to say, as Yip Strickler would say, you're a sandbagging rat.
Yeah. I was communicating with Yip recently. I think we're going to have him on this show at some point going forward. And I was like, just wait till we get some of our inner club deals here. I'm going to have some new guys for you to dig into. Just stand by. I want a full investigation. Once we finish with Pete Carroll, we'll get to these guys.
And shout out to Yip for sending those Colt Knost mid-am championship T-shirts.
Yeah, it was nice. He's doing God's work out there. Dude.
He's hilarious.
Not a single scumbag sandbagger will go unchecked on Yip's watch.
I love it. All right, before we get to our guest, we got to throw our picks out there for this week.
Hot.
We got no golf, but we're going to give you another NFL money line parlay with our friends over at the Fanatics Sportsbook app. Make sure you go download that and follow along with us because it's been a rather nice month, I would say. And with no golf, we're going to stick to just the NFL this week. Money line parlay, 3-teamer. We're taking the Rams over the Lions.
Like it.
The Tampa Bay Bucks over the Atlanta Falcons.
They crushed me this week.
Yep, tough one. And then, here we go. The Cincinnati Bengals, who should have beat Buffalo this past week. Joe Burrow is back. We're taking the Cincinnati Bengals over the Ravens. So Rams, Bucks, Bengals. That's our money line parlay. Now it's time to get to our guest this week, who's had quite the journey from PGA Tour player to now Beaurista. He's diving into the coffee business, as well as taking a little trip down to Costa Rica to try out the ayahuasca.
As you do.
Pretty normal stuff.
As you do.
Here's Beau Hossler on Subpar.
All right, back with us today, a newly minted entrepreneur / PGA Tour player. He's the founder and CEO of Beaurista Coffee. Also, recently dipped his toes into the ayahuasca waters, which I'm very excited to talk about. A lot to get into. Beau Hossler joins us. Big Beau, thanks for coming. And you brought treats.
Brought you treats, just the remnants. And CEO is a strong word.
I didn't even know if that was
revenues,
true. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Are there people to manage?
Yeah, there's more like accounts payable than receivable at the moment, but that's okay. We'll get there.
Let's talk about the coffee because we're doing this in the morning and like to have a little cup of coffee to get the day going. What made you want to get into this?
For me, it was mainly just like an outlet on the road. I mean, you've lived it. It's just kind of, it's easy to get trapped in the circle of being at the golf course and around golfers, and just started kind of seeking out different cool shops in whatever towns we went to, and then started kind of BSing with the people there, trying to learn, got into it. And then, this is probably 4 or 5 years in now from where like inception. I think there's like this journey that a lot of people have for coffee is like, you start with like, oh, I had a Starbucks or a Keurig, and it was more or less like a caffeine vehicle. And then like eventually you're introduced to like a really good cup of coffee or like a really good experience around coffee. Like you go to a cool small shop and like the people are into it and you're like, oh, this is kind of a cool experience. And like the taste was different. And then maybe you do that a few more times and you're like, oh, there's kind of like serious depth in this. Like, I think I know a fair amount about coffee, like, but there's a whole another stratosphere, just like anything else.
It's
like
weird.
Wine.
I mean, I drink it every day,
Yeah.
but I don't know anything about it. And I'm very excited to actually try yours because, like you said, it's Keurig.
Yeah.
One of those other pod-looking ones they have.
Yeah. An espresso, probably.
Yeah, the espresso. Like, I have that. I'm like, yeah, whatever. It tastes fine. It's
Yeah.
not great. Like, but I feel like this is just like a whole nother level.
It is. And yeah, I mean, I got into it that way, and then I wanted to do something with it. I didn't know what exactly. I floated some different ideas kind of in my head and with people around me, but I was worried about it like being a distraction from golf.
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously, because it's like, as I'm experiencing now, and I knew it would be on the front end, like it's a business.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work. And especially for me, like not ever having run a business before, it's like kind of learning the ropes, right? So it's a lot of work, but I would say for sure that it's been an amazing experience to like turn on a different part of my brain and to learn a new skill and to have something other than golf that I'm just investing all of my time in and living and dying on results.
Yeah.
It could be nice to have a distraction from golf too, so you're just not so consumed with it. But like you said, like having a concept, like I have a passion for coffee. I love coffee, and then starting a coffee business are two different things. Who do you have like helping you? Like, all right, here's what you need to do. You got to form an LLC, like you know all the steps you got to take.
Yeah, that's what's funny is exactly what you said. Is like you think like, oh, you're starting this little like coffee business. It's like, okay, like in a vacuum, yeah, but in reality, there's a lot of pieces that have to come together. even for something as simple as selling coffee beans, you have to form the business. You have to get all the people in place, from packaging, labeling, roasting, putting everything together, managing inventory, fulfillment, right? Like getting it to you quickly and fresh.
Yeah.
And like handling to say like, all right, I think I'm going to have X amount of orders. And if I plan for too much, like I don't want to deliver a product that's not as fresh as possible. So like I'm going to have to toss it or give it away, right? So it's just managing all that and getting the people in place. Like I've been really fortunate to, like I was telling Colt, like to talk to different business owners in the space, baristas, farmers, like all these people that are living it and have lived it for a long time, and just trying to like form good relationships to where through my connection with them, or at least a spider web from them, I have kind of access to getting any information that could be helpful. And people have been incredibly helpful on the way. It's a unique community in that way relative to like what we do with competitive golf, right? Because I mean, trying to kick everybody's ass, right? It's like, all right, I mean, maybe you kind of form a relationship with a former player to where there's a bit of guidance or whatever, but like that's not really, in my experience, like with current players, a thing versus like with the coffee space. Of course, there's competition, but I do feel like the difference is the coffee is kind of a community builder in a way. Like there's a lot. I mean, let's put it this way. I don't know what the number is, but if you were to take every adult in the U.S., I mean, how many people have a cup of coffee a day? I mean, a lot. I'm going to call it 75% probably of the population. At least
Yeah,
like
pretty much everyone I know.
Ish, right?
I feel like, yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, that's something where you're like, it brings people together solely because I could be like, if you were into coffee, I'd be like, dude, you've got to try this coffee. And then you do, and you're like, you talk about it, right? It's an interesting dynamic in that way, something that I wasn't maybe fully aware of on the front end. But to answer your question, because of that kind of bond that I would say, let's just call it coffee lovers have, there's a lot of collaboration and sharing, and people like to work together and offer guidance. And I think, you know, part of that is I'm not trying to be Starbucks, right? I'm not trying to grow and take over.
Be really rich.
Yeah, dude, you could quit golf. You wouldn't even have to play anymore, dude.
But it's like because of the intention of just delivering something that I'm really proud of, and you know, hopefully,
that's cool.
The success thing for me would be to do something that I'm proud of, to do something that's really fun and that brings people together, and that I can share with people I care about. Like that's kind of the main deal. And when you have that kind of intention, there's a lot of other people trying to do that same thing. And the reality is the market is so big that there's space for smaller coffee places like that, right? And you're starting to see it, I think, a bit where there is more of a trend for a consumer to like want to support that type of shop, right? Or that type of, let's just call it coffee roasting versus like huge brands that you get in a supermarket or whatever, right? There's definitely a trend in that direction. So it's cool. It's cool to be kind of a part of that community and hopefully grow and develop even more kind of relationships.
Yeah. And if you follow you on social media, obviously you see the trailer and everything. And you told me the other night you're like going to try to have it. By the way, am I allowed to say this or no? We can take that part out.
No.
I just say it and then see what happens.
Yeah.
No, it's not bad.
My intention is to have it at events.
Yeah.
Right.
At PGA Tour events.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the goal. And the conversations and support on the front end, I mean, the trailer's not even done yet. And it's been overwhelmingly positive, and at least people are interested. And, you know, my whole thing when I talk to people about it is like, especially with tour stuff, of course, this is a business for me, but I also live kind of what the experience is for a player. But I also see, you know, when we go play, you see what's going on outside the ropes, right? And I'm like, man, there's really room for like proper coffee here. You know, not like you go to the concession and get a black coffee, but like an actual experience. I mean, the crossover between a golf audience and kind of like it's pretty much perfect.
Well, I'll say, like, I mean, we were involved with, I think, the Birdie Shack or whatever on the practice area at TPC Scottsdale last year. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's where all the caddies hang out. That's where all the players normally
with press
stop
coffee.
by. Yeah.
Yeah, and press is great.
Yeah.
And to your point, there's not a ton of that on tour, at least not like public facing.
Yeah.
And every time I walked on the range, there was a bunch of people in line trying to get coffee because it was excellent coffee.
Yeah, it's good coffee.
Yeah.
It's not gas station coffee.
Yeah. So basically, like, that was kind of my experience having seen that. I'm like, man, if there's an avenue to deliver something that's really quality here, I think it could be awesome for the fan experience, but also, just providing kind of that insight maybe to a tournament director who that's not their specialty, right? Like, if you're not really into it, maybe you don't really know the difference, but a lot of people do.
Have you seen Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell?
Yes, a long time ago.
I feel like when you first started coffee, that was you at the back of the line screaming. Get out of the way. I'm a freak of coffee drinker.
Yes.
Well,
Exactly.
we got a lot of coffee drinker listeners, I'm sure. They would love to help out a young, aspiring entrepreneur. How do we get Beau? Tell us about this and where to get some Beaurista.
It's BeauristaCoffee.com.
Yes. Classy packaging, by the
You
way.
like that? Mm-hmm. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't like selling. So I want people to...
It's kind of a
No, I'm saying I don't like the process of selling.
the person
Yeah.
doing
I want
the
people
selling.
to try the coffee, and if they love it, I would love for them to order coffee. And that's kind of my thing. Like, I don't ever want to feel like this is being shoved down people's throat because I don't like the experience of like someone doing that to me. So, listen, I'm really proud of it. I wouldn't put it in front of people if I wouldn't drink it every single day, and I do. And frankly, we've done, we started in August, and, we've done fairly well. I mean, we've done well over 500 orders, and the feedback has been incredibly positive. And I always encourage people, like, give me honest feedback. Like, if it sucks, you need to tell me that. Mm-hmm. And I've had one negative review.
Really?
That's got to lead the entire internet.
It's probably because they bet on you in a tournament and you've messed it up. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh,
exactly.
your coffee sucks too.
Yeah.
1 star.
Yeah. But anyways, like you said, I'm trying to build a business. I'm really proud of it.
Yeah.
If people want to try it, that's awesome. I think they're going to like it. It's funny. I always joke around. I'm like, the client list is small, but it's elite.
A lot of good things. Yeah, small but elite, dude. That's a good way to be.
Yeah.
And what's up for you? Beaurista.com. If it's holiday season, check it out. If you
BeauristaCoffee.com.
That's what I meant.
Beaurista
Beaurista
might
Coffee.
take
Don't you do this for a living?
.com. I don't sell coffee for a living, but yeah, we got a lot of people that'll try it.
Sweet.
Before we get back to Beau Hossler, a quick message from Shady Rays. If you're serious about your golf game, your vision on the course matters. That's where Shady Rays Golf Collection comes in. They're designed specifically for golf with color-enhancing lens tech that helps you read greens sharper, track the ball faster, and spot breaks and contours you usually miss. They are lightweight, engineered for glare reduction, and have a comfort fit so you'll stay dialed even on long rounds. And here's the best part. If you lose or break them, Shady Rays will replace them. Seriously, this is more than just eyewear. It's a performance upgrade. We've teamed up with Shady Rays to bring you an exclusive offer. Head to shadyrays.com. Use code SUBPAR for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Now, back to Beau.
How many cups of coffee do you have now that you're all into this business?
Not like, if I'm at a tournament, I'll have a cup before and I'll have a cup after. If I'm at home, I'll probably have, throughout the day, I'll have 3.
Okay.
Nothing crazy. No. I think the thing that's been interesting and that a lot of people, once they kind of go down this path, is you really enjoy the coffee, but you also really enjoy making the coffee. It's kind of a ritual. And so for me, I really like to have people over to my place and like make them coffee. That's fun for me. It's kind of like there's an art to it, right? There's an art and a science to it.
Have you got any in Siwoo's hands yet?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Hey, you want to hear? This is a perfect Siwoo
Yeah,
story. I was going to tell
absolutely.
you the other night, but you were busy.
Yeah.
So
I was talking.
Siwoo, he orders this beautiful coffee machine, and he's like, "Hey, I don't know how to use this." I'm like, "Okay." So I go on Amazon. Like, you buy the machine, but you got to get kind of these little gadgets that help you out. So I sent him all the stuff, and we're at RSM a week ago. I go, "Did you get all the stuff?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Okay, cool." I go, "Do you have coffee?" He goes, "No, I'm going to order when I get home." I'm like, "Well, it doesn't like doesn't like magically appear. Like there is a bit of I ordered on Friday and like it's gonna get there like Monday. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, I didn't think about that. And then sure enough, I do like starting last Wednesday, I did this like 30% off like Black Friday thing just for like a few days, whatever. Like lots of people took advantage of it. I pretty much lost money on the deal, but whatever. And sure enough, in typical Siwu fashion, I get a massive coffee order from Dallas, Texas that did not utilize the code, and he paid $35 to ship it overnight. And
That's a good customer, good friend.
It's the best ever. Yeah. So Siwu, order please as much as you can, and all your friends that do exactly what you do, send them my way. But
didn't use the code and overnighted it.
And I was like, you know what?
You don't care.
It's funny because people think that I don't see the order. I'm running this business, so like the Shopify, like it comes through. It's like, hey, Colt order coffee. Yeah. And when I see Siwu order coffee, I'm like, I gotta see this.
God, it's so
and then I look at it, I'm like, this is like a $200 order. I'm like, these bags are $25. How much coffee did he get? And then I realized he didn't use the code. He paid $30 for shipping. I'm like, he's such nothing is more on brand for Siwu than that right there.
And by the way, that order will last him like 4 days.
Yeah, correct.
He's a good. Yeah, you just got to get him addicted.
My favorite customer.
He's a little crackhead. Keep him coming back.
Is unreal.
He's my favorite.
Well, dude, this is cool that you're doing this. I think like to start something from scratch, something that you love while you're still playing and stuff like that. It's cool. It's easy to get super one dimensional out there. Yeah. I'm sure it's hard playing golf and trying to run a business.
It's way better than going to the bar after every round.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I said earlier, I think that I have more capacity in my mind than just focusing 100% of my energy on golf. I don't have like a wife or kids or anything, right? And so what was kind of happening for me was I grind my ass off to play good golf as I have for literally 20 years of my life, right? And I think we all come to the realization that you put as much in as you can, but you have so little control over the result, right? Like I can feel so incredibly prepared to go play, and I could play awful. I could play amazing. I could feel going into the week that it was going to be a disaster, and then something clicks and you figure it out and play well. And just riding kind of that with nothing else really to like put my mental energy into, I think it was just not putting me in a great headspace. I don't think it's sustainable long term. I think you got to have some balance. And for me, I've always definitely had like an entrepreneurial spirit. I suppose I didn't have either the capacity or the vehicle really for it. So this has been it's been awesome, and it's been really challenging in ways to where, you know, you're working with so many different people, and you have to build, just like with golf, you have to build your team out where each individual person that's doing a job, you have full trust in them to execute on time and to the level that my expectation is or higher. And that's high. So going through that process of maybe working with someone and being like, this maybe just isn't the best fit. Let's find the people that we're all kind of in lockstep on what we're trying to do. So that's been the process so far. We're effectively 4 months in. So learned a lot, and I feel really good about it. I feel like we're moving in a really good direction, and we've got some stuff on the horizon that I think is very unique to the coffee space with the trailer, and also some kind of collaboration type drops and special releases that I think probably haven't really been done as far as like kind of premium crossover with golf and coffee. So I'm excited about that.
Nice. It's cool, man. Yep. BeauristaCoffee.com.
Get you
all right,
some.
let's get to
other cool stuff you put in your body.
You want to talk about.
Yeah.
So
ayahuasca retreat, dude. You did it recently. I want to hear literally the whole thing. Why? What made you want to do it? Who you talked to? What the actual experience itself? Kind of walk us through it.
The why I think is I don't want to come on here and like. And I don't ever to anybody privately like tell people to do this.
Yeah, this doesn't have to be a sell for it, but like for you personally,
I'm saying like the point is like this, having experienced it, it was awesome. Not like during. It's a challenge, man. Like it's not like you're going and like having a good time doing this.
So you went to Costa Rica, right?
Went to Costa Rica.
How many days?
7 days.
Damn.
3 ceremonies in those 7 days. And
So when you say ceremony,
Yeah.
okay, this is where you actually drink the ayahuasca.
yeah, so you do it at night. We had
What do you do the
small-
other day?
3 of them?
3. So
Yeah.
the first day we arrived. The second day you do a ceremony at night. And so that'll be from, let's just call it 8 p.m. to like 1 in the morning. From you, for us, like I've only done it once. We were more or less at this, I don't know if gondo is the word, an outdoor kind of covered area. Kind of have a mat that you're relaxing on, I should say. And then basically there's an altar with a shaman and there's some facilitators and it's a whole, it's not like a, hey, go just drink this and like go sit down. And it's like a whole, like, the shaman, I mean, is like, he was a special person. Like he is, there's just so much wisdom in that. Like there really is like this community of just like betterment and, they're connected in a different way down there than we are, I would say, in the US or even like the Western world. Like it's a very unique setting and community of people. And they bring a lot of energy that's different than what I've ever experienced. And so basically, you know, we sit down, we go through kind of this ritual. The shamans, obviously, we're just watching the shamans kind of leading the way. And then we basically drink some ayahuasca. And
How
then
much you drinking? Like, curious.
So the first night I had, let's say a cup. When I say a cup, like imagine probably like that much. I'm going to say 3 ounces.
Yeah, so it's a little, okay.
Yeah, that's a cup. I had 2 cups the first night, and then the second night I had 1, and the third night I had 1. But it's interesting with ayahuasca, and I don't know if it's the DMT in it or what, but you basically have like, you develop like an inverse tolerance. So because of the receptors that it's binding to, which we don't turn on, we don't have anything in our lives that turns that on in kind of what we do. You have to kind of wake those up. So you take a bit more the first time and then, but like for people that do it fairly often, like they have to take very little because their receptors are basically more sensitive to it. That's my understanding. But the first night I had 2 cups, the second night I had 1, third night I had 1, and they were 3 totally different experiences. But, you know, you go down there, for me, like, it's not like I just on a whim one day was like, oh, I'm going to go do this. Like, it's kind of a building, like, need. I've had friends that have done it, and it's been overwhelmingly positive for them. And I just, you know, I was in San Antonio this year and kind of just, for a few months, something was kind of missing. I didn't feel like kind of fulfilled in what I was doing. I was playing golf, sitting in a hotel room, just wasn't in a great headspace. And it just, I had people tell me like, you'll know when it's time to do that. So I was like, all right, it's time. I'm going to go. And I think the headspace that you need to be in order to really get the most out of it is like, I'm here and I'm fully willing and ready to like relinquish control and just see what comes of it.
Just be vulnerable.
Yes.
So, I'm sorry. Yeah, you drink 3 ounces. I'm very curious, like this actual process. You drink the 3 ounces, then you go back and sit on your rug. Or do you
So
go somewhere after that?
no,
And then
so
when
you're
does like all the wild stuff start happening? And what was it like for you?
So like you kind of go up to the altar, like the ceremony, you drink it, and then you go back to the altar, or I'm sorry, to the kind of the mat that I was on. And, you know, they're playing music, like they're creating a vibe and an energy. And for me, the first night, like I had the cup, like an hour goes by and kind of wasn't feeling anything, which is normal. Like it's different. Maybe you metabolize it in 20 minutes and someone else, it takes an hour and a half. Like, so after an hour, I went back and had another cup. And then I'm going to say maybe like a half an hour after that, it like really began. And, yeah, I mean, it is, best way I could describe it is it is a fully out of body experience. Like it's, you're completely unconscious. You have no control, and basically like your experience will present itself to you, whether you like it or not. And so for me, the first night I just had a amazing experience. I felt like I had these intentions of what I wanted to get out of it for months. And in an amazing way, they were all kind of addressed during my experience. And the thing that was really unique about it was the energy and the vibe that they created, the facilitators and the shaman and the guy playing the drums and the guitar. Like, the music and the songs would guide your experience, and then the music would stop, and then you would kind of fall out of that, and then they'd start another song, and it would create like this whole other experience. So it was just really interesting to see how I think there's a lot of energetic forces in our world that maybe we just aren't like kind of privy to on a day-to-day basis. And it opened my eyes to that for sure. And something that I try to take with me is just the realization that that's a thing, right? And just trying to surround myself with good environments and good people and people that I care about. And it's like, hey, you only get to do this once, right? So it's like, try and surround yourself with people that you like what they bring to you. They like what you bring to them, right? And that was one of the things that I got out of it. But the experience was extremely challenging, certainly a vulnerable experience. And that's kind of why I say I wouldn't like recommend it per se, because you need to feel called to do something like that, whether it's that or something else, where it's like, hey, I'm just kind of in this space and like I'm ready to like address it, or have, in this instance, right, like having no control, like I'm ready to take what it gives me.
Yeah, we watched I think it was the Netflix special with Aaron Rodgers when he went on his retreat and like talked about going into the darkness, and they showed his little room. Like, did you do all that?
No, that's a totally different.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he definitely has talked about doing ayahuasca. And I think that was in the documentary, as far as like they showed him down probably in Latin America somewhere doing it with the other group of guys. The darkness thing that he did by himself, I think, was completely separate.
That's like the one in Oregon, right? Like he goes into like the room in the cave. Basically, he's out in the middle of nowhere, like no light, no nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about
wild
that.
Stuff.
That's terrifying.
That's
So how did you drink it, and then all of a sudden you have all these feelings? But like physically, how did it make you feel? Because we've heard all these stories. It makes a lot of people. I mean, let's honest, shit themselves a lot, puke. I mean, everything.
Yeah, that's a thing. It's called purging.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because to talk about it like in this setting sounds obviously gross, but when you're in that environment and you're experiencing what you're experiencing, there's almost this like, I would call it feels like a cleansing of whatever's messed up in a weird way. And everybody, whenever because everyone that I went with, that was their first time doing that. And, everybody was concerned, of course, about like what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then like the next morning we would kind of get together and have breakfast and talk about it. And it was like everybody's experience on the purging was actually like, not that it was like their favorite, but it was definitely a cleansing of whatever I'm going to call it bad energy you kind of had in your body. Felt like it was almost being pulled out of you. And then you were starting fresh with this new. It was really interesting. Like I said, it sounds weird to say it in this way, but certainly having experienced kind of that, it is in a way there's like this weird like beauty and just kind of a refreshing start of just like I'm here for a reason. There's some stuff in me that I don't love right now, and I'm almost getting rid of it.
What does ayahuasca taste like?
It was just kind of like a thick liquid, a little bit bitter. I mean, it wasn't like. I'm not saying you'd ever drink it like for pleasure, but it was.
You like your coffee better.
You should make a Beaurista ayahuasca line.
Exactly.
That'd be sick.
But yeah, it was an interesting experience. Like I'm glad I did it. It's certainly really nice to know that you can have a reset and a perspective change. And I think the main thing that was also really cool was everybody. I went, with a small group. There was only 9 or 10 people. I didn't know any of them on the front end. And I think it's really cool to be around a community of people that are there trying to better themselves. That was really, really cool. I went there clearly for me, But there was something also that I gathered. Obviously, I had my experience, and I got what I got out of it, which was incredible. But there's something to, kind of having a gathering the next day, and everybody just briefly talking about their experience and what they got out of it. And I gathered a lot of good stuff from the other people, not per se my experience, but theirs as well. So that was meaningful too.
All right, before we get back to Beau Hossler, I want to tell you about Folds of Honor. I've been involved with this organization the last several years. They are absolutely phenomenal. They're doing so much good for the world. And every day, our military and first responders put themselves on the line to protect us, our communities, and our country. When tragedy strikes for them, it's our turn to step up. Folds of Honor provides educational scholarships to their families, and they need your help to make that happen. When you give monthly, you're telling these families their sacrifice is not forgotten. Become a monthly donor today at foldsofhonor.org and help ensure their sacrifice is met with hope. Now back to Beau Hossler.
Beau Hossler before you went on the ayahuasca retreat versus Beau Hossler afterwards. What are the biggest differences?
I would say the main thing, and you'll probably hear this from most people that have done this, is just an awareness. I think there were certain things, and I don't know if it's probably for everybody, but particularly for men, I think we suppress a lot of emotion and feelings, and kind of like, I wouldn't say run from, but you don't sit with it, right? It kind of, especially for me, like I'm a doer. Like I work, I either have success or failure, and then I keep working, right? That's just kind of what the mode that we get in. I don't really take the time to reflect or to kind of fully diagnose what's happening or appreciate good or bad. So I try and stick with that as best I can. Of course, I think there's always going to be times where you need another reminder, right? And I certainly think that I'll do that again. And I hope that I can take some of the practices and the things that I've learned from that and implement it into normal life. Like, it's never going to be exactly that. But if I can take that and just continue with that perspective, I think it's really, it just gives you a little more clarity on a day-to-day basis, perspective, like appreciation, gratitude. I certainly left, or during my experience, like I really had like kind of an overwhelming sense of gratitude for like everybody who invests in me. And sometimes it's easy to lose sight of that because you're just moving forward. But the fact is we are where we are today because of the efforts that we make, but also the efforts of people around us and the care and support that they give us since the time we were a kid. So to take a moment to have like perspective on that and gratitude for that was huge. So I try to maintain that. And certainly I would say I try and maintain with the company that I keep the type of energy that I want to be around. Not allowing myself to almost like set a boundary within myself to say, hey, if this environment or this person's not really like adding value to what I'm doing, like it's just not probably a situation that I want to be in. Not that I had a ton of those. I have amazing people in my life, but I think part of it is just really trying to connect more with people that care about me and that I care about, and have an appreciation for that.
Would you say like your demeanor has changed on the golf course at all?
No.
Does it change any perspective golf-wise?
I think it did for a few weeks.
Like golf-wise, does it change any perspective? Like, it's life or death when you're out there. Like, do you come back from that and be like, you know what? Maybe it's not.
Absolutely. I think that was the main takeaway, is that there's more to life, right, than just your performance on a golf course. And to answer your question, Colt, I'm a fiery player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And just because I recognize that golf is part of what I do doesn't mean I'm not going to be a competitive freaking guy on the golf course. And that's the way I compete, right? And everybody's different. Some guys are super mellow, whether they're mellow internally or not. I'm not. And it's the way I compete, and it's likely the way I always will, right? Like, do I necessarily love that about myself? No, but that's kind of just the way I do it. Mm-hmm. And I think there are lessons that I've learned from kind of my experience that I can take and harness some of those things in a good way.
Interesting.
But I think the main thing that has been instrumental for me was that experience once I got home really gave me the green light to take a risk and do the coffee business and really try and round myself out as far as what life looks like. I mean, we're sitting here on December 2nd in the beginning of the off season. And 2 years ago, maybe I'm in here doing this podcast, and then every single input for the day is me getting better at golf 6 weeks before I'm going to play again.
Mm-hmm.
And literally zero reprieve because I didn't have another outlet. As far as like, you can find things to do, but I really want to do stuff that like I'm passionate about. And so for me to kind of give myself the green light to embark on the coffee entrepreneur journey has been really cool, from a day-to-day to like invest in something I'm really passionate about. And also, I think through that, in a way, since I would say I'm certainly doing less time practicing golf, but I feel like my presence there is more like potent. Like I'm there and
Better
I'm focused.
practice.
For sure. Because at the end of the day, right, if you don't have anything to do and so you end up at the golf course for 10 hours, I don't know that that's really helping you, versus if you're like, hey, I have these things to do and I'm going to do them and I'm going to have 6 hours to play golf. I'll go play golf and I'll practice for a couple hours, but I'm going to really try and like utilize that time effectively. I think probably that's a better place to be anyways.
Yeah, I think when you're 12 years old, it's like, hey, I'm just getting into the game. I love the game. 10 hours, I'm going to be out there all day.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, look, I've done all the work.
Yeah.
Now it's like, what do I need to focus on to get better? And then we're done. Yeah.
Totally.
Is there like a guilt element? I used to feel like if I didn't practice for a long time or wasn't out there, like, even if it was shit practice, I was like, oh, I was out there 5 hours. Right. You know what I mean? I had guilt when I didn't. I was like, oh, dude, I only practiced for an hour and a half today. Mm-hmm. Like, that's not going to do it. Does that go like away more or less now, you feel like? Or you don't feel like you have to commit every single waking moment to golf stuff?
I think that you're totally right. In the past, if I wasn't out there all day, every day,
someone was getting better.
You're going backwards.
Totally. Yes, I understand that perspective. I suppose my argument would be, you like see, oh, here's what Tiger's schedule looked like when he was 25 years old at Isleworth, and you're like,
I just saw that recently again. It came out.
15-hour day.
God.
I don't know,
and
man. And I can tell you this, maybe
mileage.
that's possible for him, but I'm saying in my brain, there's no chance I can focus on anything at a high level for that long. I just couldn't do that. And so I would say I'm beyond the point of like feeling guilt about not being out there all day. The reality is that I am going to prepare to the best of my ability to play great golf. I have intentions of playing great golf. That is absolutely the primary focus of what I'm doing. But I can tell you that me investing in my time into another project that I really care about, and frankly, I think it puts me in a better headspace anyways to perform. Because I'll tell you this, and Colt, maybe you've seen it a bit on the road, but since I've done this, the communication that I've had with I call it the traveling circus of golf, has been immensely more. I've talked to way more people. People ask me questions about it all the time. They want to talk, even if it's a 30-second deal. It's like, it's really cool to have some small bag of coffee that brings people to want to talk about something that's not golf, right?
Well, that's the deal. It's like, I tell people all the time, like, golfers come in here and they don't want to talk about golf.
Yes.
They enjoy, you can see them get excited when we talk about something else.
Yeah.
And you're out there now, it's like, oh, I can go talk to Beau, and it doesn't have to be about, the pace of play yesterday or some shot he hit over here, was there a mud ball, like any of that. It's like, we can talk about something different and actually have a normal conversation.
Yeah. And it's been cool. I do really feel like I've connected with a lot more players because
they want free shit too. Just remember that.
Oh, everybody does. Trust me. That's incredible. I'm like, you have $100 million. This bag of coffee is $14.
But I'm going to need some coffee. Yeah.
Rich
I'm
people.
That $25 bag straight
Let
to
me get the 5% off discount. I'm like, okay, no problem.
Need more Sea-Woos.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's been really nice to connect with more players. I would say there's a community of players, 10 or 20 guys that are really into coffee. So like even before I started this, we would kind of just, if I saw like a Camilo on the range, he'd be like, what's the coffee spot this week, right? That was kind of how I got into it. It's like, well, when we go to Napa, like I go to Naysayer and OHM, those are my spots, like whatever. And then now it's become still that, but a bit of like, hey, tell me about the coffee, like where can I get it? Like where are you getting your beans? Like which ones do you like for these different brew methods? It's fun. And I think that also, as golfers, you are an entrepreneur in a way. You're the boss of what you're doing. Your golf is a business, right? Like you've got 5-6 people that are helping you, that you pay. You're managing that. You're making sure that everybody is contributing in the best way that they can. Like it really is, there's a lot of correlation there. And so I think because of that, a lot of players are interested also in the process of like the questions you were asking, like how does this even happen? Right?
There's so much that goes into it. Just like, I'm going to sell coffee.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to make coffee.
Yeah, exactly. So players are interested in the coffee itself, and players have been very interested in talking about the business and the process of creating something and kind of the things that we're going to do hopefully in the future that are going to be really cool. But that stuff doesn't happen overnight. You have to build out kind of the infrastructure and the team to really be able to execute on if you want to present cool stuff to people. So
Yeah, man.
it's been really cool in that way. That's what I was saying earlier. Like I have really noticed that the coffee community is there's a lot of interest in. It's again to your point, talking about something that's not golf. Like I don't love to talk about golf.
Well, we have to real quick before we let you go.
Tell us everything about your game now.
I'm curious because you finished 104, right?
Yeah.
And so a lot of people obviously know they changed to top 100, but finishing 104, it's not the end all be all. Like you're still going to get a shit ton of starts. You're going to be fine. But I was looking at your stats last night. Ball striking probably wasn't what you wanted it to be this year. What's kind of the focus going into the off season?
Well, first, I feel like it's important to talk about kind of what you said on the 104 deal. So, this past year, to dumb it down, basically we've gone from 125 full-time guys to 100, and then they've cut 10 more off of the Korn Ferry. So it went from 30 cards to 20. So basically that delta is, I'm going to call it roughly 35 less full-time members. Obviously it can move a couple based on champions in the last couple of years, et cetera, medical. And so, I was kind of on that bubble all year, more or less. And I think with it changing, we didn't really know kind of what that meant, because it's new. And, you hear about reducing field sizes. Well, you don't know if that means like by 10 people or 30. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is a big difference. Yeah.
Very, very big. Yeah. Not big for guys with a full card, but definitely big for guys right on the fringe with conditional status. I would say more or less right where I ended up. And so certainly it was a bit stressful playing the last few months. And, people were like, oh, well, just, play your best and see where it falls. I'm like, okay, but like, what if you just told like the guy that's hitting in baseball, you're like, hey, just hit a home run on every pitch. By the way, like you don't know if a strikeout is 2 or 3 strikes or how many outs are in the 7th inning or whatever. It's like kind of just, I think it's fair to know, or at least have a good idea. And I've communicated that, and I think that that's certainly something that should be done. Is like when you're playing golf, when you're playing 30 weeks a year, and the grind of it, and the repercussions. Like I think that's important.
Yeah, what you're saying, I think, is like if you're going into those last several events, if you would have known, like, hey, if I finish 105, like I'm going to be fine.
You could have told me when I finished RSM, when I finished 104, that I was going to get 14 starts or 28 starts, and I would have said, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so in a really cool way, fortunately for me, I think it's going to be closer to the latter. I think. But I do feel like that would have been kind of nice to know. I'm not saying for me. I'm saying for everybody.
For everyone,
right? Yeah. I just think that, especially with how the tour's been the last 8 years, is since I've been on tour, I mean, there has been basically volatility in eligibility and format, playoff events, elevated events, amount of playoff events, tour championship format. I mean, everything has changed, right? Every single year. And it's been tough to keep up with internally. And I know certainly it's been tough externally. Like people, and they don't even know what what we were playing for. A lot of people thought it was like for shits and giggles. Like literally.
Right. I mean, look, I cover the game for a living. I'll tell you, I was sitting in the trailer with Frank Nobilo and a representative of the PGA Tour talking like, okay, how does this all work? Like, we don't know. And this is all I do is talk about this stuff. And it's so for the average person at home, it's got to be extremely frustrating.
Yeah. And listen, I'm not trying to sit up here and bash the tour, but I'm just trying to give you some perspective for someone that finished there, right? Like I lived that the last 5 or 6 months where I was kind of just on that precipice. And, you know, I'll give you an example. So like I'm good buddies with Zach Blair. Last year he finished 126. And this year, I don't know where he finished, but I'm just saying the life that he lived was like, you're going to just get in, you're going to just get out. You go to the Monday qualifier. Like you kind of are just in this question mark, right?
It's
all
hard.
Year. That's and I have been in that category and it's tough. At the end of the day, I had plenty of opportunity to perform, to finish in the top 100 without a doubt. So that's not at all what I'm getting at. I'm just saying that when you play, it is nice to know kind of what you're playing for. And I'm glad that it seems like having now, once we've finished, oddly enough, we were able to get the access to what the field sizes look like and kind of what all this means. And it sounds like I'll be playing a lot of golf. And in a good way. Maybe it'll kind of force me into playing fractionally less golf than I played, where I'll have a bit more time to rest and prepare for each event that I'll feel a bit more prepared. So I'm trying to take the perspective of I'm going to be more prepared to play. I'm going to be a bit more rested than I've been in the past because with the format the way that it is now, this like rat race of a schedule is exhausting. And the amount of players, I would say players that aren't in that 50 that are in all the elevated events, you almost feel like you have to play every week.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, frankly, I'm not exaggerating. Minus a couple half-point events, I think the only 500-point event that I skipped this past season was Sony. And that's a lot. It's a lot of golf.
Yeah.
It's a lot of golf. It's, I think you would probably agree. I mean, you would love to play like 20 to 25 events as far as just like functionality from like what would be ideal. That sounds great. And for someone having played, I probably ended up playing like 30 some events this year. It was a lot.
Yeah, I remember like my manager pulled me aside one year and he's like, look, I know you love playing.
Yeah.
But basically when you get to like your 4th week in a row, your 5th week in a row, like you're not very good. So it doesn't do you any good to like show up at these tournaments. Like we need to just focus on playing just 3 in a row, week off. And so you, like you said, be rested. I think the one thing that I'm kind of nervous and / interested at is like Tiger spoke this morning at the Hero because he's on this new competitions committee.
Okay.
Whatever. And I mean, he's like, look, pretty soon we're going to have a product much better than what we have now. So it sounds like obviously there's going to be a lot of changes coming.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know the first thing about any of that. But yeah, it's been a bit of a whirlwind for sure. I think that the intention obviously is to get it right, but I think there's some value in just getting it consistent, right? Like truly, like I honestly believe that is, you know, if you want your fans really to be engaged, I really think they need to understand. And I can tell you with certainty, your players need to understand what's going on. And there's just been so many changes over the last X amount of years that frankly, it's been hard to keep up even internally. Yeah. So I think that I had a meeting with Brian Rolap. I think he's exceptional. Nice. I think he has amazing. I think he's an expert in some areas that are incredibly important. And I think he has the humility and the wherewithal to know the areas that he needs to learn. And he asks questions and listens when you talk. And he presents an environment that you feel welcome to talk like freely and be honest. And he doesn't take offense. And I really think that that's an exceptional quality in someone who's going to lead anything, is to say, hey, I know where I know exactly what I'm doing. And I know areas that I need to listen to people that live it, right? And we had an awesome chat. I think that my whole thing to him was like, listen, you're running the show here. You need to have all the information from everybody involved as truthfully as you can get it.
Mm-hmm.
And you do with that, you're the boss, right? Like you do with that as you see fit. But I just said, listen, like at the end of the day, in 20 years, I'm not the player that I am today as far as contributing to the tour. The guys in the top 15 in the world will have changed. And the reality is I think it's in the best interest of the tour to just create the best competitive model that people can follow, that internally we feel like is the best for us to compete. Like we've all grown up with that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's truly like every person on tour has earned their way there.
Yeah.
And I think that that's compelling to watch, to
say-
where there's repercussions for players every year. And it's felt like a bit to me, and I think probably for people that understand kind of how it works, is like, it's almost felt like if you've had success in some particular year, that's like, it's creating this, like, it's floating you for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Versus I would say maybe when you first got on a tour, like literally unless you won, you had to earn it every year.
Mm-hmm.
And the starting point for player 11 and player 90 was like relatively the same place. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
And now to me, it feels like your starting place based on a year or 2 or 3 years ago is like, it's setting you up on second or third base instead of everybody starting at home.
I mean, the fact that the number 50 guy versus the number 51 guy,
Yeah.
which, I mean, I know they're in the first two, but just say 50 and say 61. Like they have a massive difference in their schedule as of right now for 2026.
Enormous. And that's what I told to Brian too. And I think this probably resonated at some level with him. As I said, starting last year, I was exactly where you said. I want to say I was like 64.
Yeah.
So let's just say at the time I'm the 70th best player in the world, roughly.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm the 80th best player in the world. I'm in that range. I was like, the amount of times that I'm going to see a top 5 player in the world at a tournament this year is like on one hand.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
And the amount of times that I'm going to see 7 of the top 10 players in the world at a tournament this year is literally only if I play in a major or an elevated event.
Or the players, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, and the players.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
And so to me, I just said, hey, competitively speaking, right? Like if you went to the 70th best baseball player in the world, he's playing at the highest level every single night. He's hitting against Garrett Cole.
Mm-hmm.
He's hitting against whoever.
Livy Dunn's boyfriend.
Yeah. And I think there's something to that because that's the type of competition that you want.
Absolutely.
And just competitively speaking from a player's perspective is like, you feel like at that point, you've earned the right to compete against the best players in the world. Now, this year I finished 104th. I'm going to get what I'm going to get. I'm totally accepting of that. I'm just talking on a broader spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
Number 55 guy in the world should be playing against the best players.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
And the way the
sport.
schedule has worked out is the best players in the world, those top 50 guys play against each other a lot. But if you're literally one player out of that, you almost never see them. And I just don't know that in 20 years that's the best model. I think you got to get your players not just in those elevated events and majors, but like throughout your schedule need to play. And I think those players that are just outside that top 50 deserve the opportunity. This is not a money thing. This is not a points thing. This is like, hey, we've played since 10 years old. I want to compete against the best players. And like, to me, that player is good enough to have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, in a way, been kind of stripped back because of the way that the schedule and the let's say schedule, field sizes, cadence, whatever you want to call it, has been. So I think I think he seemingly agreed at some level with that. And I think that maybe I didn't see what you're talking about with Tiger, but maybe that's kind of what he's pointing to is a schedule that makes sense to where that can happen more often, where guys that have a full card on the PGA Tour are playing against the best fields the most often. And I just think the way that it is now with the quantity of tournaments that we have, it's just so spread out. And those guys already have that set, call it, 11 to 13 tournaments they're definitely going to play, and maybe they just spread in 5 more, but it's so sporadic that you don't ever really get them
It's
together.
gonna be interesting to see what happens, but man, we appreciate you coming on, sharing. Congrats on Beaurista.
Thank you.
Thanks for being open and honest about the ayahuasca retreat. That was really cool to hear. But wish you the best of luck, my man. Good seeing you.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing the jacket back.
Show.
Too.
Oh yeah, this is a staple.
I thought we may hang that in the rafters.
All right, that was the Beaurista joining us on Subpar. Tried the coffee, fantastic, must say.
Makes a nice. It's got a nice brew, doesn't he?
Siwoo, if you're listening, go buy some more. He loves the way you operate.
Use the code. Nah, I just want to pay full retail.
Don't need the code, and I need 100 bags. Oh God, I love you, Siwoo. But Beau, man, it's pretty wild to see him. You can definitely tell he's mellowed out a little bit. I would say changed a little bit. He said he could definitely tell on the golf course a difference. But man, you hear people talking about those trips down to Costa Rica and everything. It's like, do you think he could go through with it? He went through it, and obviously he seems like he's very happy he did.
The only other golfer we've had on who did it, we had DJ Trahan a while back, who's big into it, done a bunch of different ceremonies, all the other stuff. Like, he raves about it. Beau's done it. He's happy he did it. I got a few friends, small handful of friends who have all done it. I haven't met one person yet that's like, man, damn, wish I didn't do that. I don't know how like permanent the effects are, how long all this, all this stuff lasts, but it's fascinating. I'll tell you that. I think there's a lot of good that can come from it. Like Trahan talked about, he was a young guy. I wanted the cars and the flashy stuff and all this. And like, it just strips your ego away from you and you get off of that, So that was fascinating stuff to hear. Yeah. And it sounds like he may not be done.
Nope.
You want to go with me? Should we go do one?
No, I'm out.
Let's get dark.
It's terrifying.
Call A-Rod. Find the darkness. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
not Alex Rodriguez.
A-Rod,
Although
like,
Alex Rodriguez, who knows? Maybe he goes dark too.
I'm gonna let you go, and then you tell me how it is.
Fair enough.
I'll try the
check
coffee.
it out.
I'll keep checking out the coffee. You handle the
I'll
ayahuasca.
warm up the waters. You'll be fine.
All right, sleaze, the holiday season is coming. We all put off getting those gifts until the very last minute, but not this year. Everyone out there, head to shop.golf.com, pick you up some Birdie Juice merch, and we're going to give you 15% off. At checkout, make sure you use code SUBPAR15 for 15% off. That's shop.golf.com. We got everything you need. Tees, hats, all the gear. Your holiday gifting officially upgraded. Or grab something for yourself and call it festive preparation at shop.golf.com. I have never used that term before, Sleaze.
I prepare for festivities.
You like festives.
I'm always preparing. Failure to prepare is preparing to fail for festivities. That's what I say.
Well, we did not fail with that episode. That was a lot of fun. We'll talk to you on next week's Subpar, and we do have a very special holiday gift heading y'all's way. You're not going to want to miss it.